Hey lovelies, it's Anne. Welcome to this training where I'm going to be sharing the 3 things I focused on to make $500,000 working under 4 hours most days and without doing any sales calls. Now, I focused on 3 things, like I said. I focused on who I was being, what I was saying, meaning the messaging, and how much I was charging, right? But there's a lot more to this. So please hang in there and let me explain. But before I do, let me super quickly introduce myself to those of you who are new to my world, because there are so many new people who have come into my world recently. My name is Anne Ryan. I'm a business mentor and a money mindset coach, and I help my clients to build a simple, scalable, and sustainable business that they absolutely love, that brings in 30, 50, and 100K months through high ticket sales. That is my genius, showing my clients how they can double their income often immediately by implementing my high ticket offer framework. I show them how to create high converting authority content, not just friend zone content, not just motivational content, but authority content, so they can enroll clients without needing to even get on sales calls. And I help them to implement a 6-figure visibility and sales system so they can bring in consistent income month after month. So I just wanted to super quickly get that introduction out of the way. If you want to scale your business to 30 to 50K months and beyond in the simplest way, then I invite you to drop the word #support or send me a private DM, and I'd love to have a conversation. All right, let's get into this training. So when I say the most important thing I did to get to 500K working under 4 hours a day was to focus on who I was being. So what do I mean when I say that? What I mean is I really paid attention to who I was being when I didn't have what I want. Yes, there have been many times, just like you, when I haven't had what I want, right? And this is the most important thing. I am going into the strategy. Part 2 and part 3 of this training is the strategy, right? But who you are being is the foundation for the strategy to work, right? It is so easy to be high vibe and magnetic when things are going really well. Do you agree? But what about when they're not? Who are you being when you're not feeling visible because you shared a post and no one commented? You heard crickets. Who are you being when you're not making sales? Or when you're being ghosted in the DMs after someone asked for the link? Who are you being when clients default on payments? Or worse still, they ask for a refund? I've experienced all these things, right? And many other setbacks, like every business does. It's business, yeah? And who you are being in those moments is the difference between success and failure. It's the difference between making 10K months and making 100K months. It's the difference between, it is the most important thing to get right before you add the strategy. For the strategy to work, yeah? And I am going to be sharing the strategy. So just hang in there, right? What do you make it mean about you when all these things happen? When people aren't buying, when payments are defaulting, when no one seems to be, commenting or paying attention to your content. How do you respond? Do you withdraw from your business, even just a little bit maybe? Or do you double down and go and lean even deeper into your business? See, none of these things mean anything about you, right? Although sometimes there are little clues, like let's be honest, sometimes there are little clues that, there are little things that we need to tweak and shift in our business. For example, you probably can get better at your messaging. You probably can get better at sales. We all can, right? Maybe you need stronger contracts. They're all little tweaks that we can make to our business to continue to improve. Yeah. But regardless, there are always going to be times when you don't have what you want in your business and in your life. And how you respond in those moments makes the difference. Yeah. Now, we are human. I'm human. So it's natural for us to feel some level of pain and discomfort, right? When we don't get what we want. I get that. Yeah. But the more we can stay neutral, the more we can stay in our power, and the less lack that we can feel in those moments, because when we don't have what we want, we feel lack. Yeah. And the more we can lean into the gratitude and love and into a higher frequency and vibe, the sooner we will get back into being magnetic again. You picking up what I'm putting down here? This is so important, gorgeous ladies. This is so important, because let me tell you something with certainty, 100% certainty. You can try and fake it till you make it, like we've all been, we've all sort of done at some stage in our lives and in our businesses. But people can feel your energy when it's off, right? So you have to focus on the choices you are making in each and every moment. You have to become conscious of the things you are saying, not just out loud, but within your head too. Yeah. The biggest mistake I see many entrepreneurs make, because they desire more, is they often focus on the lack. They focus on the problem. They focus on the lack of visibility rather than celebrating the 2 people who loved their post. They focus on the person who didn't buy rather than celebrating the people who asked for the link or the people who did buy. Yeah. They focus on the person who defaulted on their payment rather than being grateful and celebrating all the clients that they do have and all the payments that they have received in time and the pay in full income that they've received and all those sorts of things, right? The reason this work, gorgeous ladies, is essential alongside the strategy, which I'm going to talk about next, is because it's who you're being that impacts what you're thinking. Yeah. And your thoughts determine the actions that you're going to take and your behavior as you show up in your business, right? And those actions or behaviors is what will result in you either remaining stuck, slowing down, or building the business of your dreams, 500K and beyond, working less than 4 hours a day. That's the difference. Yeah. Does this make sense? This work is incredibly important alongside the strategy, which I'm going to talk about. I know everybody wants the strategy, and I am getting to the strategy, right? But this is the work. And I know a lot of you are still joining this call. Go back and watch the beginning. It is so, so important. And this is the work that I do personally myself all the freaking time and with my inner circle and mastermind clients too, right? Because I can see it when they can't. Realigning, constantly realigning to our desires. So we create our own reality. Yeah. So we create exactly what we want rather than focusing on the lack, focusing on what we don't have, which then amplifies our reality of nothing, right? Of not having what we have, what we desire. Sorry. This is the work, right? Let me know your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. I will circle back. I will come back and read every single comment and answer everything, but I am going to keep going because I'm halfway through and I've still got 2 more important things to share. Right. Next, I want to talk about what you're saying. Now, this includes how you talk about your offers, your content, your messaging, all the things, right? And the reason I started with who you are being is because this impacts so much on what you are saying. So let me ask you something. If you weren't afraid, what would you say? If you didn't care what people would think, how would you show up on social media and what would you be saying about your offers? Because who you're being when you write your content impacts the potency of the content you create and what you say. Yeah, it impacts how you speak about your work, how you speak about your results, how much conviction your potential clients feel as well, right? Because it all comes from you. Yeah. A common issue that I see, and this happens for my clients too, right? Your content, your copywriting is impacted by how you are feeling at that time. So if you write content just after you've had a big win, a big celebration, lots of new clients, and you're feeling incredible, top of the world, the energy behind the words that you're writing, the content that you're sharing, the frequency is higher than if you've slipped into that feeling of lack and scarcity and desperation and no one's buying and people are defaulting and no one seems to care. I'm showing up, I'm sharing content and no one cares. And then you write more content and guess what? No one cares. Yeah. So who you're being impacts what you're saying too, right? And this is why I started with who you're being before I went into what you're saying. Your frequency is what magnetizes your ideal clients. So when you write content from a low frequency, when you're feeling lack, scarcity, and all those sorts of things, even with the strategies that I teach, even with the high converting authority content and the frameworks that I teach my clients, it won't work because your frequency is off, your energy is off, and you don't believe a word of what you're writing, and you dilute your message and you just write content for the sake of writing content. Yeah. And when you're in that frequency, you'll end up attracting other people in that frequency too, because like attracts like. Yeah. So what's more important is when you're not feeling powerful and confident, you water down your message and you really don't get specific about your promise, right? You water down your promise or the results you help your clients to achieve. And this is something you have to be really, really consciously aware of, right? This is something you have to be super consciously aware of unless you have someone who kind of points these things out to you. Yeah. Like I might do with my clients. And this is not about working with me only, right? But if you have a coach, then your coach should be pointing these things out to you. Here's the thing, gorgeous women, right? Here's the thing. Whether you're Nike, Apple, McDonald's, Tony Robbins, name any big brand out there, everyone has fantastic customer testimonials and they also have very, very bad reviews and they have bad days. I recently discovered I recently discovered Tony Robbins has 25% 5-star reviews, 25% 5-star reviews, and 63% 1-star reviews. Pausing for effect. 63% 1-star reviews for Tony Robbins. Do you reckon his marketing gets watered down every time he has a bad review? Do you think he shows up with any less potency every time he gets a customer complaint or a default or a bad review, like I said? Do you think his sales are going down as a result of those things? I'll answer the question for you. The answer is no, right? It's the opposite. These companies amp up their marketing, amp up their power positioning when shit's hitting the fan, when they don't have what they want, right? Is this making sense? They show up even more powerfully and they continue to sell their promise. They don't kind of water it down and go, oh, well, sometimes our hamburgers are really good. Sometimes our French fries are really hot. You know, they hold their standard, they hold their belief, they powerfully show up no matter what is going on, what people are saying, how they're feeling, all those things. Your potency is essential to make more sales, right? You don't need more leads. You don't need more leads, because if the leads you have now are not buying, more leads isn't going to solve the problem. You just have to show up with more conviction, with more confidence, and really level up your messaging. Yeah. You don't have to reduce your price so more people will buy either. I'm going to get to pricing in a minute. You just have to powerfully speak to your ideal clients and really promise them what they want. Yeah. And if you don't know what your ideal clients want, then you have to find out what they want, right? And here's the thing. Chances are you know what your ideal client wants, but you're talking to everyone in your audience, everyone, because you know you can potentially help everyone. And so you talk to everyone. You're not talking to your ideal client, you're talking to everyone. You don't know what everyone wants, right? So you end up kind of talking about all the things and really, really diluting your message as a result. Hello, gorgeous Leticia. Thank you for being here. I can actually see your name. I can't see anybody else's names because it says Facebook user, by the way, because StreamYard is not showing me your name. But thank you for being here, and I will circle back and say hello to every single one of you. All right. So I lost my train of thought. All right. Where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about speaking to your ideal client. You know what they want, but potentially, you're sort of really focusing on everybody in your audience and not really being as direct and as potent and as specific about what it is that you do and the results that you can get and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Here's the truth, ladies, and this might be painful to hear, right? People aren't buying because they don't have money. That's not true. People aren't buying because they don't believe you can help them. And they are investing. They're investing their money with someone else who is more confident, who is saying what they want to hear, who is promising them what they want, right? From day one of starting Business 101, we've all heard this ideal client. Who is your ideal client, right? We all know this shit, right? I'm not going to teach you about ideal clients right now. But until you actually truly speak to your ideal client, that one person the perfect person for your offer, yeah, your messaging will be so diluted and vague that no one will actually hear you. And this is what I doubled down on. Like, I doubled down on this to get to my 500K without, changing a whole lot else in my business. Yeah. My ideal client is a female coach or consultant who's making at least $10,000 already. Yeah. She wants to get to 30 to 50K months, and she wants to do it without hustling in the simplest way possible. She doesn't want to be working all the time. She doesn't want to have a big team. She doesn't want complicated funnels. She doesn't want to pay for ads. Ideally, she doesn't even want to get on sales calls. Now, and this is who I started speaking to. I still attract women who are earlier on in their business journey, and I still help them. I also attract women who are already at 50K months and want to get to 100K months. And I can help them because they've complicated their business. There are things in my messaging that will still speak to other people, right? But I am super, super clear on who it is that I can help and how I can help them. Yeah. It's the values that I speak to. It's the characteristics that I speak to in my content. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The numbers don't actually matter. They resonate with what it is that I'm sharing because I am so freaking specific about it. Yeah. And that's why they want to work with me. Messaging is super, super important, right? Now, in January, for the first time, I broke down my high converting authority content strategy. Yeah. My scale methodology. And I've had incredible feedback and testimonials from that, from clients who implemented the frameworks that I taught, and literally immediately, like within 2 hours of my class, they were making sales and sending me feedback. It was a paid program. Now, it's available for instant access. Yeah, there are swipe files and templates and all the things. Drop hashtag scale if this is something that's of interest to you, or send the word scale in the DMs, and I can sort of tell you a bit more about that. But I'm going to keep moving on because the third pillar, I've got 3 minutes to talk about the third pillar. No, actually, I started a couple of minutes late, so I've got a bit longer. The key thing I focused on to get to 500K working less than 4 hours most days was I restructured my offers and increased my pricing. This is my genius, as I mentioned when I was introducing myself. And this is the first thing that I focus on with my clients too. This is the thing that has resulted in 70% of my clients making their ROI in the first 30 days, right? We look at their offer, their proven offer, right? And we package it and position it in such a way that they can increase their pricing immediately. Yeah. And this is what has resulted in some of my clients making 100K in their first month too. Yeah. Now, you can restructure your offer in a way that you can immediately double your price. So let me ask you a question. If you weren't afraid, what would you charge? You know you have a proven offer, right? You're here, you're in business because you know you can help your ideal clients. You know that. That's why you're in business, right? And you're seeing other people in your space, in your field, in your niche, who are charging 2 to 3 times more probably than what you're currently charging. Do you wonder why? and how they're doing it. How are they attracting people at a significantly higher price point? See, you'll only actually attract those premium buyers when you charge premium prices. That's the thing. That's the psychology behind pricing as well. High ticket buyers don't buy cheap offers. Those people who are charging more aren't more talented than you. It's not about how long that they've been in business or how much experience that they have. It's about the conviction that they have behind the promise that they're making. Yeah. They've learned how to position their offer for a more premium client. And this is the work, right? This is what I focused on for myself, and this is what I it's one of the first things that I focus on with my new clients as well, because that offer is the fastest way to bring in a lot of income. If you can double your offer immediately, you can double your income, right? And as a result of increasing your pricing, you attract more premium clients, more serious clients, who in turn get incredible results because they're all in, they're committed, they've made a big investment, they want it to work. They're not half in, half out. There are so many benefits of charging more. Yeah. It's a win-win. It's a win for you and it's a win for your clients. With high-end packages, you can offer more personalization. You can offer more in-depth coaching. This is not just about making more money too, right? This is about scaling a business in a simple way. Yeah. So I'm still having a shit ton of impact through all these free trainings. You come into my world, you can, binge watch my free trainings and you can make money straight away. I know that. I know that. Yeah. And so I work with a few clients a lot more closely. And that's how I manage my hours. Yeah. You can tailor your approach to meet the specific needs and goals of each client when you're charging premium prices. You'll also have the capacity to incorporate other levels, other support, whether it's Voxer or, Telegram or other access to you in between those calls, inside of a Facebook group, whatever you decide, right? You could create more training materials because you'll have more time. Yeah, you can actually bring in more value and add more value to it when you charge more. Yeah. By working with fewer clients at a higher rate, at a higher fee, at a higher price point, at a higher investment, you can have so much more flexibility with your time and with your schedule, which then in turn allows you to kind of to be creative. You need space, right? And it's like this big cycle continues. Your work gets better, your client results get better, your marketing gets better, and your business continues to thrive and scale. And this is the work that I do, inside of my inner circle and with my mastermind clients, right? I share a lot of free value, like I said, inside of this Facebook group and just inside my world on YouTube, Instagram, all the places. Yeah. For the first time this year, though, I did create a couple of lower investment opportunities. I mentioned about the scale copywriting, the high converting content program that I delivered. That was in January. And then last month in February, I also did a training, a masterclass called W Income. Yeah. Because this is something that I feel is my genius. This is something that I have nailed, and it focused on the identity shift, the strategy behind the high ticket offer framework, and some simple tactics to double your pricing and income. right? It is a paid offer. It is low ticket. Both the scale copywriting and this double your income offers are a absolute no-brainer price. It'll give you a taste of my work, which is another reason that I thought I will create it, because it's a big ask, for someone to come and work with me for 12 months if they've had no kind of real experience of my work. If this is of interest to you, #double or send me a DM with the word double and I can get you more information or the link for that program. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions about anything else that I've shared. I've just over the 30-minute mark. So that's it for the actual training itself. But I'm happy to answer any questions at all that you may have. Hello, Facebook users. There are so many of you here. I don't know your names, but thank you so much for being here. Hello, gorgeous Leticia. Listen to this 2 times. Yes. Truly, there's so much gold that I've shared today. Come back and listen again. Yeah. These 3 things will change your world. Who you're being when things aren't working out, your messaging, your content, the potency of that, what you are saying, and how much you are charging. Shift those 3 things and your business will blow up. That is, I did other things, don't get me wrong, like lead generation and so many other strategies, but none of that was different from the previous year or any other time, right? These are the 3 things that absolutely brought in the results. I was really reflecting on all the things that I do in my business, which isn't a lot, but the things that I do. There, of course, you've got to build your audience and there are the things to business in order to be successful, but these are the things that absolutely were responsible for that kind of a result. The problem of losing your focus. Yeah, I would love to charge $3,500 for my 3-month program. I deliver fantastic results for my clients. I just don't get the calls booked to offer my offer. It's killing me. I am so sorry to hear that. It is likely your messaging up front. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is that you're selling for $3,500, so I can't specifically comment on that, but it's often the messaging. It's what we're saying and it's how we're saying it. That is so, so important. Yeah. You have to speak with certainty for someone to want to invest. That's the thing. And we don't speak with certainty. We speak depending on how we're feeling at that time. If our client has just had a freaking amazing result, then we're certain. So the validation comes from outside of us. Yeah. We have to know that, have that certainty at all times, regardless of what's going on in our business. And the message that I want to get through here is, when you speak to your ideal, your ideal clients can get incredible results. And when you speak to them and only them, not only will you still attract other people, but your ideal client won't be able to turn away if it's what they really want. That's the key. Is it what they really want? Or are you trying to sell them what you think they need or what you know they need? Marketing 101, right? Sell them what they want, not what they need. Yeah. So it's a bit risky, me here, it's a free training. I don't sell identity shifting or the mindset work that I do. I sell the promise, the result that people want, which is 30, 50, 100K months. Yeah. Because people don't want to know the work that they have to do. the mindset work and all the things. Obviously, I'm very transparently sharing that in this training today, but that is a lot of the work that happens behind the scenes. Yeah, but that's not what I sell. I sell the result, the promise. Thanks, ladies. Bye.